Coach Clay here. Today I want to give you 2 minutes of hitting advice that I received from my batting coach for the San Diego Padres. This advice pulled me out of a year-long slump and provided me with confidence hitting for the remainder of my career and led to a professional batting title. Now, hitting advice, batting advice, hitting drills, tips for hitting, they're strange things because one player at a certain point in their career could be dramatically affected and improved by doing a drill or getting a tidbit from a batting coach. Whereas you give that same advice or put another player on that same drill and it doesn't resonate, it doesn't click. So hitting instruction, hitting advice is very personal. And look, I found in my career of playing and then coaching hitters that you got to take everything in, try what you feel like might help you, see if it works, and when it does, roll with it. If it doesn't, give it a good effort, cast it aside, and move along. Before I share that advice, I've got to set the stage. I was not a heralded prospect, did not have many tools, was not fast, was not strong, was not powerful. So I had to do everything right to perform. I was coming off one of the worst seasons of my life. I'd been put in a tough situation, didn't handle it well, got off to a slow start, and I let that drag for the remainder of the season. Ended up hitting in the low 200s, coming into next spring, knowing that I could be in trouble. Typically, back when I was playing, the organizations would bring in 150 plus guys to spring training. You would end up with 24 on the big league roster, 24 on the next and the minor league rosters, AAA, AA, and 2 single-A teams. So there were always going to be several dozen players released. When I arrived to spring training, I was immediately put on the AAA roster, which was a bad sign. A lot of the AAA players were playing in the big league camp, and so there was a lot of holes in that AAA club, which a lot of times the Padres organization would fill with guys that they were planning to release. They didn't want to just have this cascading waterfall effect of everybody dropping down. So they started a lot of prospects they knew that were going to be in A-ball and A-ball. A lot of prospects they knew that were going to be in AA ball and AA ball. And then those open spots in AAA that had been vacated because guys were practicing with the big league club, they would fill those in with guys in the minors that they were probably done with, that they were going to release on those first cuts. So I was put in that AAA squad. So I was in trouble. First couple games, I was struggling. I came to the side of the field, and there's where my hitting coach was, Dwayne Espy. And he had noticed that I was anxious, I was pumped up, I was trying way too hard. My approach sucked. And like you've probably heard in the past, there's always a battle for players to stay back and not to get too far forward. And just that, I knew that, but I couldn't stop it, and more was going on with my swing. But what Coach Espy said to me, he said, I want you to take these next couple at bats in this next game, and I want you to set up on every pitch as if it were a 3-ball, no strike count. For those of us that have been around baseball, we know 3 balls, no strikes is pretty much understood to be the batter will take that pitch. Letting that pitch go by, even if it's a strike, even if it's a good pitch to hit, does not put the batter in a worse position. Batting with 3 balls and 1 strike is just as good as batting with 3 balls and no strikes. So you have a free pitch. The pitcher may throw a ball and you may get first base. The pitcher may throw a strike. You get a look at another pitch, and then you're still in control of the at-bat, hitting at 3-1. When we take that 3-0 pitch, we're always relaxed, we're always sitting back, and we always see the ball really well. And what Coach Espy had basically shared with me was that when we're in 3-0, when we're relaxed, sitting back, not jumping, not pumped up, we see the ball better than at any other time when we're at the plate. So what he wanted me to do was to set up, stride, prepare to hit as if it were 3-0. My initial reaction to that advice was, I'll never be on time, I'll be late. When it's 3-0, I'm always too relaxed and too quiet. And I wouldn't be able to be fast enough to hit the ball. He didn't care. He promised me, hey, if you get jammed, you get blown away, that's fine. Just take these next 2 or 3 at-bats in this next game and do it. And just see how it goes. Well, I was trying to make my way. I wasn't going to disobey a coach. I would try what they were telling me. So I went out to that next game to approach each at-bat, setting up to hit as if it were 3-0 every pitch. To my surprise, I was able to be on time. I was able to barrel up the ball. Everything slowed down. I saw the ball great. My pitch selection was on point, and I smashed the ball 3 at-bats in a row. I went back excitedly, found coach, told him it worked. Of course, he knew it probably would in my case. It was good advice. And why it worked was very interesting. If you think about a 3-0 pitch, and when we take a 3-0 pitch, we're in our stance. We want to mimic the same rhythm, the same load and stride that we would on a normal pitch, and gauge the speed of the pitch, sort of feel ourselves set up to swing so that after we take that 3-0 strike, if the pitcher throws a similar pitch, our timing's ready to go. We're going to be on time. We've just seen it. We've just prepared. But when we know we're not swinging, what do? We land a little softer, and I stay right back here. And if you ask any player, have they ever taken a 3-0 pitch down the middle, and has it been the best pitch they've ever seen in their life? All of those hitters will tell you yes. Anytime they take a 3-0 fastball, it's the biggest meatball they've ever seen, and if they had only had the green light, they could have crushed it. It's not that those 3-0 pitches are that fat or that different. It's just that when we take a 3-0 pitch, knowing we're not going to swing, we land quiet and our head does not move. So when your head doesn't move, you have a perfect view of that pitch. You see it really well. Think about if I get a little more motion going and I get a little more movement going with my head, then my eyesight is impaired. The exaggerated example is being when a kid spins around in a circle when they're little to get dizzy. As you spin, everything becomes a blur. So even if we're just moving our head just a little bit in our approach, we're getting a little excited, everything's going to blur just enough. We're going to blur a little bit. We're going to get forward a little bit, making that pitch get to us faster. Whereas if I take that 3-0 approach, I'm sitting back. And all of my fears about not being ready, being relaxed, and being back, I could pull the trigger, still transfer my weight, and have power, and be quick, on time, and effective. So the advice that I received, treat every pitch as if it's 3-0. That advice was able to take me at my jumpiest, most anxious, flying forward phase in my hitting career, in which I was having very little success, and it flipped the switch. Committing to that for a full game, trusting it, and seeing what happened allowed me to really find how being relaxed, quiet, and staying soft back really helped me hit well, as opposed to being fired up, jumpy, and flying forward. And it seems simple. We've heard it all before. Stay back. Don't get so excited. Don't get so fired up. Relax, relax. And all those words are good and they're right, but sometimes with hitters, they just don't get past that outer layer. We're frustrated. We want to try, and trying is often the worst thing we can do when we're not having success. So instead of just saying relax with some of your hitters, maybe try this approach. Have them take the 3-0 approach. Set up on every pitch as if it's 3-0. Relaxed, quiet, seeing that ball, and then hit from that position right there. And see if that can help your player. I hope you like these videos. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you down the road.